Welcome to this demonstration of Cicero XM, Cicero's leading integration and customer experience software. During this demonstration, we'll be exploring several of Cicero XM's unique features that differentiate it in the marketplace. Today, a great number of organizations still rely on many different applications to accomplish customer interaction on the front line or even processing data in the back office. Often these applications are siloed, keeping their valuable data isolated within their original purpose, such as billing, CRM, provisioning, knowledge base. The list can be quite long. Unfortunately, in the case of a customer interaction, information from several applications may need to be accessed, and then those applications must be navigated to the customer's account. I'm sure we can all relate to the scenario of calling into a call center only to be asked for our account number several different times during the call. The problem is, while these systems may do their specific job well, they were not designed to collaborate with other systems in a fast-changing environment. Nor were they designed to facilitate a productive conversation between a customer and a representative. Cicero XM solves the problem by allowing an organization to plug their existing applications and services into our desktop framework. Cicero XM then enables all of the applications to exchange data, communicate business events, synchronize to customers' accounts, present new composited views of information, participate in cross-application workflow, cross-application business rules, and present timely guidance to a user about insights into the customer. Guidance can be used for cross-sell, upsell opportunities, or even fraud alerts by taking data that has always been available but may be scattered across many disparate systems. This results in a cleaner, more efficient experience management leveraging our first-class integration. So let's take a look at how Cicero XM's integration works. At the core of the integration model is what we call the United Data Model. Switching to Cicero Studio, you can see where and how the integration is configured. The UDM allows an organization to model or shape their data and the relationships of that data in a way that is abstracted from the actual data sources. The abstraction of data is very important as it allows back-end data sources to change while keeping the model intact. For instance, getting a credit score today from a billing mainframe, but next month plans are to retrieve the credit score from a vendor's new web service. With Cicero XM, only the UDM binding will change, but every other aspect of the system will remain unchanged since it relies on the abstract credit score without regard to the data source. The data that Cicero XM relies on is moved from and to the enterprise data sources via what we call data providers. There are currently 4 data providers in the XM product. They are the web services provider, database provider, CTI telephony provider, and a very powerful surface provider which allows existing applications to be integrated into the framework. Let's focus on this last provider since it is the most unique feature that sets Cicero XM apart. The Surface provider adapts to different platforms: Windows, web, Java, and mainframe host, and creates a communication layer between the applications and the United Data Model. Taking a look at the data provider window in the Cicero XM Designer, we see that we have several applications we've integrated. Opening up Salesforce, we see that we have created an object-oriented view of that application. This not only allows us to bind information from Salesforce, but also to control and automate the application of business process automation using the application's inherent properties, events, and methods. To configure the integration, it is a simple matter of clicking on the interrogate button, find the application and controls you'd like to integrate. I'm going to identify the Salesforce application. The interrogator then uses a simple drag and drop process to collect the controls. Once the surface model is complete, controls can be bound into the abstract data model to be used in workflow, presentation, and guidance business rules. Once the data is collected within the data provider, the data can then be bound into the data model. Looking at the data model with this view, let's take a customer's account number. This is the abstract view of information from the previous view. And we can go to Salesforce and find the account number in the actual application data source. And then we could relate the property to the account number just by dragging and dropping across. What this does is creates a binding. A binding is composed of two things, a trigger and an assignment. The trigger tells the data model when to get information refreshed from the data source. In this case, whenever the text box in Salesforce is created. It could be when the text is changed event is fired, or any of a number of events, as you see here on the right side. The assignment tells the data model how to move the data from the source and then any transformations that need to be done. Prepending zeros, stripping blanks out of a social security number or insurance number, etc. Once the data model is built, the other aspects of the system, presentation, workflow, and scripting can all use the abstracted data model. Let's move on to an example desktop that shows how these interactions or integrations are used. I'm going to launch a financial desktop. As the desktop loads, you'll see that the desktop is configured. Various applications that are typically used are launched, signed in, and docked into what we call the workspace. In this example, a toolbar was decided to be put on top. On the left hand, you'll see the command center. As the various applications are coming up, you see that they're getting docked into this workspace. Once the applications are docked into the workspace, they're available to participate and they're integrated. So all of the data within the applications is open for business rules, workflow, presentation composites, etc. You'll also see that Salesforce came up and was automatically logged in with our single sign-on. If you look at the top of the screen, you'll see a toolbar. It's picking up an RSS feed, but it can also pick up various feeds from the enterprise. On the left-hand side, you see the command center. This is an out-of-the-box component that's provided. It has a telephony section with the integration into the switch and a soft phone controller, place for scripting and guidance for the agent or user, application quick launches, messaging, and presence. I'm going to set my availability here and take a simulated incoming call. What you'll see is as the call comes in, Salesforce has automatically been navigated to an account. Additionally, a composite view of information has been created within the Visual Designer that takes information from all over, from web services, from Salesforce, from other applications, and combines that into a 360-degree view of the customer. You'll see within the workspace, Salesforce is here. It was navigated. The workspace is fully configurable. It can be dragged, dropped. It can be applications can be undocked. The workspace can be slid up and down, etc. Okay. Another aspect of it, if I'm looking at a portfolio here and I want to look up Verizon, what that's done is automatically, through integration, driven the other applications and synchronized them to this customer's holding in Verizon. We see here Google Finance is showing that. If I go over to MSNBC, you'll see that it as well has been driven right to the same account. We can do this with provisioning systems in a wireless carrier, with a handset device. We can look up knowledge base. We can look up known issues about that. We can preemptively guide the agent or user through the interaction. If we detect something that's going on, we could put up a new composite. We can make upsell, cross-sell opportunities. In this case, available offers. You'll see that the scripting has live data right in line, and offers. We have configurable business rules that allow the integrated data to be taken and collaborated across all the different disparate systems through the data model and onto the desktop. So in conclusion, I hope you could see that Cicero's unique integration features allow for a very robust customer experience management. Thank you.